Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day. So far, so much happening in the COD scene in the last 24 hours. A massive Modern Warfare throwback tournament we're going to dive in today. Teams getting pretty frustrated. Also, teams certainly coming out on top of it. Tints getting thrown left, right and centre as is tradition. But also, anti-cheat finally arriving at teams to the Call of Duty franchise. Very much intriguing your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing this. I thought it was kind of funny from Bance. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Unless you're a mouse and keyboard player. But let's dive into this then. Call of Duty say the following. This is Ricochet anti-cheat. Kind of a nice branding I think for this one. A new anti-cheat system arriving on day one of Warzone's specific update later this year. We kind of heard that this would be in line with when Vanguard integration happens with with the new Call of Duty coming out. Anyway, this is what they say. Internally developed kernel level driver. I don't know the specifics and how this exactly works, but we'll look at someone who maybe does hear what they had to say on the Reddit here in just a couple of seconds. But yeah, Valorant has, I think it's called Vanguard over there actually, even though it's kind of confusing terminology because this game's Call of Duty is called Vanguard. But I think this is a similar kind of idea that obviously they're going for like a similar kind of branding idea. And as they go on to describe how it exactly is going to work, and there's been a lot of good traction around this, and they're very confident that actually this is going to be effective in stopping cheaters. Now, well, this is what they also do say though, because of course we're hoping this also gets added to to the actual Call of Duty multiplayer game, right? So that's going to affect the challenger side, and hopefully not the professional side, but certainly there's been some cheaters in challengers these last 12 months, if not so well since we moved on to PC, let's just say. And as they described, there's going to be a subsequent launch for Vanguard at a later date that they do not confirm, so that could be any time. This is like when they say that League Play is coming soon at a later date, and then it takes 6 months or so. I don't know, but well, it can't be a bad thing. Let's just say that this is finally arriving, fighting for the community against those who aim to spoil their gaming experience. So pretty cool to see. We get the Call of Duty League coming out with this, Ricochet about to torch these cheaters, so pretty good stuff. And this, I mean, this is just phenomenal really from back in the day. Scump right here, like yeah, the number one federal agent has arrived. Scump's gonna take everyone down. Now there was some discussion on Reddit about this, how this kind of kernel level anti-cheat works. As I say, I'm not an expert on how some of this stuff works, but as Canadian Wampa says, which well, at least he seems like he knows what he's talking about, discussing how Valorant's Vanguard, because this is what everyone discussed really with Valorant's anti-cheat, is that like it was super intrusive. Like from as soon as you start your PC, it's kind of like working in the background and stuff. And because I haven't played Valorant in a few months, I just straight up deleted it because people were talking about how intrusive the anti-cheat was. Now I think they're trying to say that this Call of Duty one isn't quite as intrusive, but the way he describes it right here is that when you load up your game, it takes a snapshot, and then when you start your game, at least when you load up your PC, it takes a snapshot of your computer, and then when you load up the game, it takes a snapshot again to kind of compare if there's anything that's changed in the meantime, if there's any programs that you've launched that may be along those lines. Now whether the Call of Duty one is going to do something similar, whether it's going to be as intrusive onto your PCs like security and stuff, that remains to be seen, because there was a fair bit of talk about that and still is really about Valorant's anti-cheat. Whether Ricochet will be the same, I don't really know, but as long as it's effective, I suppose that's the number one priority at the end of the day. So very interesting nonetheless. This also from Arcitys then, so of course there's this Modern Warfare throwback tourney going on yesterday, which was a very good time. We thought we were going to get the Huntsman involved, that being Scump, Envoy, Formal and Arcitys, pretty much the core of the Huntsman team during the Modern Warfare season in 4v4, with the 5v5 era being, well, they had Gunless at the time, and then Priestahh came in towards the end of the year. We thought we were going to get that team. I think maybe Formal had stayed up all night playing Valorant to the point that he just wanted to sleep it off. So anyway, they bring someone else in, and Drazah comes into their team. And to be fair, Drazah just impresses me every time I hear him, because not only is he nasty at the game, but he's got to be one of the vibiest teammates you're ever going to find. So it was certainly a good time listening to these guys play. Look at me in the eyes, Junior at Kenny. He kind of 3-0'd when it mattered type tweeter from Drazah. We'll have a look at it with the bracket and some clips from the tournament in just a second. But very interesting nonetheless how things went. So these were the teams. Of course, some of these got switched up towards the end. And initially I tuned into the very first match that Ilya and Co played, and I was like, damn, these guys are getting smoked, or at least in the Search and Destroys, because they're playing up against Fellow's team of Royalty, Standy, Fellow and Dave Paddy, which is pretty similar to the Triumph team that I'm pretty sure won Challengers Champs or did really well in that game. So it wasn't like a massive upset, and but they were getting bodied in the Search and Destroys. That's what kind of surprised me. Like Illy, Shotzi, Dashy, Cellium, their Search and Destroy should be unstoppable, but well, it didn't seem to be the case. They got like 6-0, 6-1 on a load of the Search and Destroy maps I was watching, at least in that very first series. I was like, damn, what's going on right here? And Dashy was getting pretty frustrated with it. We'll have a look at some clips here in just a second. But well, they do turn it around and make a monster lower bracket run, the best ever lower bracket run in charity throwback tournament history, you could well argue, to make it all the way to the grand finals. And of course, we will see what's happened there. This firstly from Method's first game back, like I never left, dropping 45 here on Gunrunner Hardpoint. Gunrunner Hardpoint, actually in 2 minutes in here as well. This guy's absolutely out of control. This was Zuma's team with Sib and Kenny and against Parasite and Co on the other side of things. But yeah, certainly a good time. This also from Vivid the Warrior, people were mentioning the fact that there was this kind of Wester team forming again playing this tournament, but instead of Zaptius, they had Vivid in there. So is this an indication, right, as Phenom's kind of pointing out that maybe he hasn't actually got a starting team if he's stepping into this roster, or like this is actually going to be a CDL team on, like, I don't know, Washington are going to pick these guys up or something. Difficult to say, but of course all these tournaments are people trying to read between the lines and see what could be happening. So I'll show a couple of clips here for you guys on a Dashy getting kind of frustrated, then some other highlight moments as the tournament concluded, and then we'll look at how the bracket played out.
Royalty and Fellow have just been so key finding these first bloods with the ARs. Dav sneaks in. Somehow all under blue finds Dashy.
Really, the last one alive.
Dude, like...
That's it.
And that is it.
Cringe.
Fellow and squad taking the S&D map 5 to go on to the next.
Cringe. Like... just sit there, wait for DS and run down mid, like...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This game for 4s and S&D is terrible.
No wonder I hated this game.
They know they have one player isolated on the bomb. A little bit of hesitation here from Shotzzy.
Little hesitation, and it looks like Juke is going for the full flank. You see that on the mini map.
He finds him through the bush.
They got to know he's on the flank. Juke is on the flank right now. Cellium spots him, finds him. It's a 1v1. Juke is versus Shotzzy. 15 seconds left.
And he's defusing.
He's going for the defuse, though.
He's gonna stick it.
Shotzzy going for the defuse. Is he gonna get it off?
Oh my
Shotzzy gets it.
Shotzzy sticks it. Oh, for the win.
You bottom it. I have 2 probably. Wait, 2.
Flash at drugs?
He's on Harry. Alex on Harry. Wait. One
I could probably kill him.
Jeep, one shot.
Got him.
Let's show, man.
Got this?
Nice.
Oh my god, Hinder, let's go.
Come on now.
Yo, let's go, Hinder.
Come on now.
That was different.
Good
Yo, good Hinder just... Yo, that was some icy fast.
Wait, did you hear that guy?
Yeah.
What? Dude, I can't hear.
So this is the bracket, as you can see. So Team Arcitys, that was like Scump and Co. And then you've got Zuma's team that we looked at, Dashy's team as well. So they lost 3-2 to Fellow Squad in the very first rounds. This was incredibly well organised to do a tournament like this over just a few hours in the evening from Hitch and the guys. Like, just phenomenal work. Because, I mean, they had a losers bracket as well. Yes, it was only best of 3. But that's still ridiculous. Like, to actually make this work and be effective at it. Just, this is really, really well done. So, yeah, congratulations to those guys running a fantastic tourney. But anyway, Team Dashy, let's, I suppose, follow their progress right here. Some other, notable names, Amelia, for example, from the European side. But yeah, Team Dashy 2-1 over Team Jukies. That was like Afro and Co, I think, Nasty and Jukies and Delio. I'm pretty sure like one of the maps they lost here was on the European host, but it was unfortunate to see those guys fall out. But still, Dashy's team just, completely romped through the bracket. I mean, kind of as you would expect with Dashy, Shotzzy, and Cellium. It's going to be a nasty team. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 over Team Aiden. 2-0 over Team Zuma, and Zuma's squad had lost to Arcitys and Scump's team a little bit earlier on, and then they beat those guys in the lower brackets, beat Fellow team again and get revenge, and then they go up to the grand finals and they beat Team Arcitys at 3-1, and that's of course like the Huntsman squad. They beat them in the grand finals. So pretty ridiculous, to be honest, that Dashy and that squad went, I'm pretty sure, 18-2 map counts through the entirety of that low bracket run to win the entire thing. As it says, number 2 player of all time versus number 30 player of all time starts now. So we got kind of, frustrated about it in the replies. I thought it was kind of funny just because based on, I guess, Nameless's list, right? Or at least on Nameless's list, he was number 30 Zuba, and on the flank list, Scum was number 2. So I guess kind of mishmashing the both of them. This, I'm not sure if I actually shared this clip earlier. If I didn't, I'll put it at the end of the video. Pretty ridiculous here from Shotzzy, right? Like, honestly, 4v4, like, at the end of the day, this is probably the first tourney we've had that was at a good time for European viewers, and it was on Modern Warfare, which maybe it wasn't the best. But to be fair, like, 4v4 Modern Warfare was definitely, I feel like it was better than 5v5, even though some of the Search and Destroy maps, I think the Hardpoint, it was better 4v4, but for Search and Destroy, the way the maps actually played, it may well have been better 5v5, like, especially on something like Ramaz. I remember Dashy was getting frustrated about the fact that, like, you can't really hold all the lanes in 4v4. Like, people can just run wherever they want because there's so many open spaces on the map, I suppose. And I mean, that was just a ridiculous thing from Shotzzy as well. Like, Gunrunner definitely using remembering some old knowledge here in the Search and Destroys. Wallbang and Arcitys in a pretty crucial time here in the grand finals, of course. Ricochet is coming for Shotzzy, says Crone, which yeah, maybe not be too far around the corner. These, of course, were the grand finals. Scump, Arcitys, Drazah and Envoy against Dashy, Shotzzy, Illy and Cellium. And well, it was Dashy, Illy and Co that end up winning winning the entire thing. That's just what Elgato do. 4v4, $5,000 Modern Warfare Throwback, hashtag champs with Shotty, Dashy, Cellium. GG's to all we played, says Illy. And I mean, this also from Hitch I thought was kind of crazy. Insane to think competitive Modern Warfare was played 5v5 on PS4s. And as Macklemore says, I don't know how the PS4 didn't blow up right. It's a very good question. There was also 12 Hz servers, as Bance says here in the reply. So kind of crazy to think what was the case right before we went into the Cold War season and we're actually playing on PCs. And I mean, yeah, like on PS4s, I don't know how it handled it. Like 60 Hz is always a bit of a struggle anyway on some of these situations. And it just is crazy. Like having got a PC myself and playing Call of Duty on that, going back to play it on console feels like you go back to the dark ages. It's actually crazy that the difference it makes. So, I mean, yes, as it says, it's kind of funny to think about, really. And this clip also I thought was pretty entertaining to finish off with. RC's kind of revealing all the Cellium strats when they open up a nice little lead over at the Gunrunner hardpoint early on. But, you know, towards the end, it was Shotzi and Co that end up taking it down. But very much intrigued your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really upset the YouTube algorithm. Like you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Coming in behind everybody. He finds Scump. He finds Drazah. Can he find Arcitys mid? Just like that. The can opener comes in. It's Shotzi. Blowing the round open. The bomb's going down at B.
And it's just Arcitys in a 1v3 again.
That's a huge round for
him.
What? What? Am I watching?
Shotzi, what are you doing? What?
Ricochet, where are you?
I need to right investigate. Now.
Shotzi's
back. I have side door.
Yeah, hold side. I'm going easy.
I have time.
Push it out.
I'm me right then.
I think this one. Yeah, about to push out. God damn. This guy's off of McDonald's Coke. I have front door. All front door.
Two there.
Oh my God.
I have never heard a call out like that in my whole life. I know everything I need to know if I hear that from my teammate.
I think that's my favorite call out so far. He is off the McDonald's.